Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a very special recipe, and that's going to be a Gulab Phirni shots. You got that right. I'm going to be serving the Gulab Phirni in these shot glasses, or you can also use the cutting chai glasses to serve the Gulab Phirni, and so that you get to have the small portions of sweet for the festive season. I always believe in eating in the right portions. But there is a twist. I had a challenge from Morphy Richards where I had to create a very traditional sweet without sugar, and that got me thinking. And I was thinking I have to make something that's really flavorful, that is light, as well as packed with taste, right? And so that's how I came up with this Gulab Phirni shots, where it's going to be packed with gulab jal. At the same time, watch the entire video to see how I replace sugar. So without wasting any time, let me just dive right in and show you how to make these delicious Gulab Phirni shots. So I have all the ingredients for my Phirni prepped and kept. And I also have some basmati rice which I have soaked and kept for about 20 minutes and drained out all the water. And it's extremely important to be using fresh basmati rice because that's when you get the beautiful flavors in the Phirni, making it creamy and delicious. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the rice into the liquidizing jar of my mixer grinder, and then blend it along with just a little bit of milk to make a nice coarse paste, right? So you don't want to make a very smooth paste, but it has to be coarse. You should feel the granules of the rice, and that's when it becomes smooth and creamy, okay? So I'm just going to add just a little bit of milk, and then we'll blend it to make a coarse paste, okay? So the best part about the Morphy Richards mixer grinder is the lid, which has a locking mechanism which helps in hands-free operation, and the 600-watt motor is so powerful that it gets grinding done in a jiffy and is so effortless. And don't you love this glossy sapphire colored mixer grinder? It gives a very calming look to my kitchen. In fact, the best advantage that I can see is the color will ensure the turmeric stains or everyday cooking stains do not show up on the mixer too. And this is just perfect. Notice the texture of the rice. It's nice and grainy, and this is exactly how you want it to be and perfect for making a Phirni. So my next step is to cook the rice along with some milk and saffron in a pan until it becomes nice, thick and creamy. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the ground rice mixture into the pan first. Any excess rice, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse it off with a little bit of milk and just pour it in. Okay, and then after that we will add the remaining milk and keep cooking the rice until it thickens. Okay, so keep stirring the milk and the rice mixture until it thickens so it doesn't form any lumps. It's very important until it reaches a very creamy stage that you keep stirring it intermittently now and then, and not just leave it to cook on its own, because otherwise the rice will hold into lumps and then it'll be very hard to sort of mash it up. Important to just keep stirring it over medium heat. What I love about the Morphy Richards induction stove is not only does it help me adjust all the temperature settings and control the heat the way I want it, but also it has an anti-roach design which prevents the insects and cockroaches from actually infesting the induction stove, which happens very frequently and spoils the system. But this has a perfect design for preventing that. Notice that the Phirni is thickening, and if I lift it up, you can see that it's becoming nice and creamy, and the entire milk is also thickening up with all the starch from the rice, and I can smell the flavors of basmati rice. And I haven't added KESAR, which is saffron, or even gulab jal as yet, and the flavors of basmati rice are simply wonderful. Great, so this just keep stirring until it thickens. Ensure that you do it on low to medium heat, and at this stage it's extremely critical when it is at the thickening stage that you are very close to the pan and you keep stirring it. So the Phirni is thickened up, but at this stage, as I said, it's important to understand whether the rice is completely cooked and whether it needs more milk as well, right? So sometimes basis the rice, based on what type of rice you're using, the amount of milk that is needed to cook the Phirni will keep changing. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit and then taste to see if the rice is cooked. If it is not, then I'm going to add just a little bit more milk and then cook the Phirni. It definitely needs more milk to cook it, and it's thickening up faster, which essentially means it just needs more milk. The thing about phirni is the rice will keep absorbing more and more liquid as it rests in the milk, right? And once you turn off and you think the rice is cooked, it'll keep getting thicker and thicker. So a little bit of excess milk is not at all going to harm. So go ahead and add that in. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and add the whole thing, and it will just be fine. Okay, great. So now that we are at the final stage of the cooking process, I'm just going to go ahead and add in my saffron, which is going to add in delicious taste and flavor to the phirni. KESAR brings in a richness which brings out a great taste. So just stir it in, and after that I'm going to add the surprise element, which is dates. So I've soaked the dates in milk and ensured that it's soaked very well. Ensure that you pick a date which is nice and soft, and then chop it fine and then soak it in milk. And I'm not going to grind it, I'm just going to add it straight away to the phirni so that it has like a nice texture when we take a bite. Okay, so the texture of the dates. Well, instead of dates, you can also use figs, by the way. I love fig phirni and it tastes really nice. So similarly, chop up the dried figs, not the fresh figs, the dried figs that you get in the market. Chop it up fine, soak it in milk, and then the same quantity as I've used over here, and then stir it into the phirni to bring out a delicious taste. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and stir it in really well. And the final ingredient that we're going to add is the gulab gel, which is going to give it that added freshness to the phirni. All right, great. So notice the good part about this induction cooker is I'm able to actually control the heat and the temperature very instantaneously, and that really helps when you're making a lot of different dishes, right? I love that the fact that you can actually control the heat with the press of a button. Finally, just going to go ahead and add in the gulab gel. So another 3 to 4 minutes and our phirni will be done, and I'll be ready to serve them in shot glasses. I'm going to go ahead and taste again to see if it's all done. Brilliant. Flavors of the gulab gel, saffron, a little crunch from the dates. Yummy. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat and then put them into my shot glasses and then refrigerate for about 2 to 3 hours, right? And after that, we'll be ready to serve them. So wasn't that really simple and wonderful to make the Gulab Phirni, and light, flavorful and packed with dates and flavors from the gulab gel and saffron, which is bringing out the delicious taste to the Gulab Phirni. And the best part, I've served it in shot glasses, which makes it having the right portion of sweets for the festive season. So I hope you get to try this sweet this festive season, and do let me know how you like it. Share your feedback in the comments below and I would love to hear from you. So now I have a challenge for you where you have to create an international twist to a traditional sweet or snack and make a fusion dish out of it. So I can't wait to see all your dishes and creations, and looking forward to seeing all of them. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.